Okay, ladies and gents, boys and girls, happy Tuesday, March the 15th, 2022. Appreciate you all tuning in. We are live here on the Daily Crow. Of course, as always, I'm Chris Phillips, your host of the Daily Crow of the Spurs Up Show. Appreciate you all tuning in. I see Travis Allen, Wesley Newmar, Stephanie Lee, Justin Chase, Mason, Connor Lee. What's going on? Appreciate you all tuning in. Like I said, also, for the Big Cock Club Discord, head over to the TDC Questions channel. The TDC Questions channel, be sure your questions are answered there, guys. It is a very, very big day today because, as we've talked about all week long, football's back. Football's back in South Carolina. Yes, it is just spring football, but either way, we have football. You see we're rocking the Beamer ball, the old faithful. I feel like at this point it is now. It's only a year old, but basically at this point, old faithful. We got the football merch on, the Duke's Mayo Bowl merch on right now. Again, celebrating football being back. Very excited. Phone lines are already ringing off the hook. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Justin, what's going on, man? How are you?
Not much. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well, man. You did not wait long to call today. We're 1 minute to the show, and you're already calling in. I love that. What's up, man?
Oh, thanks, man. Hey, Chris, it was a tough day yesterday. You know, look, I love Frank Martin. He's a great guy, Chris. And the other I remember, he got to a 5-4. That was a big dream. I never thought to get to a 5-4 before, you know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Frank Martin. Yeah, and of course that's going to be a topic of discussion today, as it should be. Frank Martin did things at South Carolina that were unprecedented. And, his numbers reflect that. I think almost in a way, I don't know that the phrasing he was his own worst enemy is correct, but he almost raised the bar so high after that Final Four run that, fans didn't want to go back to not going to the postseason. I mean, I think that's really obviously what did Frank Martin in at the end was, you went on that Final Four run and you got a taste of what it felt like to really, really win, kind of like you did in football under Steve Spurrier. And, he raised the level, though. Again, we should be very appreciative and thankful of Frank Martin, what he did at South Carolina. Again, this is not a situation like it was with Will Muschamp. You might recall, Will Muschamp gets fired. I'm smoking the cigar and celebrating him not being the head coach at the University of South Carolina anymore. It's not to that level. This is not to that level. I don't dislike Frank Martin. I wish Frank Martin the best wherever he goes. And again, I was shocked to see the move. I really thought they would bring Frank Martin back. I really thought that he would be back for another year at minimum. But at the end of the day, man, listen, when you're getting paid millions of dollars to coach a game and you've been in a school a decade, it comes down to wins and losses, man. And the fact of the matter is they didn't win enough. They didn't win enough. And it just goes back to, do you believe South Carolina? Do you believe there is more in the tank for South Carolina basketball than what Frank brought? Again, he brought it to a certain level. I kind of look at Frank Martin as like the Lou Holtz of basketball, that he brought it to a certain level. Now let's go find the Steve Spurrier to get this thing to the next level. Because I think there is a next level. You have to believe there is, man. Because if you don't believe that, if you truly do believe that what Frank Martin was giving you on a year-in, year-out basis is the absolute ceiling for the program, then just shut down the program because you weren't making the postseason. I mean, it's worth rolling the dice, man. After a decade, it's worth rolling the dice. It's worth taking the risk because I see some fans on social media, well, have fun going back to the cellar. Have fun going back to finishing 14th in the SEC. Well, that's one possible outcome. The other possible outcome is we get better. But let me ask you this. If we roll the dice and it doesn't work, we're still right where we are right now. I've seen people citing, well, I'll talk to you in 10 years when South Carolina hasn't made a single NCAA tournament in a decade's time. Well, that'll only be one less tournament that Frank Martin made. So what's really the difference? I mean, how is it not worth the risk? How is it not worth the risk? So again, it's no ill will. It's no vitriol to Frank Martin. I know my guy P-Doc loves to give me crap because I say that all the time. But at the end of the day, man, you get paid to win games. You get paid based off wins and losses. And, at the end of the day, I think it was a good move probably for all parties. I think it was a relationship that that had run its course. You know, again, I think it was one of those deals. We were no good for Frank Martin. He was no good for us. And it's in the best interest of both parties to move on and go a different direction.
Yeah, Chris, I agree with you. And Chris, the thing about this is, look, we don't know how G.G. Jackson will react to this, you know?
I mean, yeah, listen, I don't know what's going to happen with G.G. Jackson, but keeping a coach to get one prospect who's probably going to be a one and done is not a good plan, in my opinion. Listen, I get it, man. Change hurts. There's a lot of hurting Gamecock fans out there right now that love Frank Martin, that you know, just the Final Four run was their greatest Gamecock memory of all, trumping the Spurrier years, the baseball national titles, anything the women have done. It was their favorite memory of all time. So it's hard to let go of that. I understand. I guess for me, it's not as tough, because I'll be totally honest with you, man. Like, the Final Four doesn't rank above the Steve Spurrier years for me. It doesn't even rank above the baseball national championships. Like, I love basketball, but I'm not so attached to that memory that I can't see what's right in front of me, in the sense of, you know, again, Frank's had a great run, but again, you're just spinning your wheels, and you get paid too much money to just spin your wheels, man. You get paid too much money to spin your wheels. They know that. It's a results-oriented business. They know that. Listen, Frank Martin will land on his feet. He will go coach somewhere else. And I'll tell you this too, somebody very wise once told me, never feel bad for someone who can go buy their own jet. Don't feel bad. He'll be fine. Frank Martin will be fine. It's a shame, and it's a bummer that his tenure in Columbia is over. But Frank Martin, the basketball coach, will be totally fine. He'll be fine. So, again, bygones be bygones. Thank you, Frank, for what you did, and I'm excited for the future, man, because, again, the names bouncing around right now are some big ones.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. And Chris, one thing about Frank Martin, I enjoy my time with Frank Martin. His tenure was incredible, amazing. You know, I hate to see it like this. You know.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, nobody. You know, I wanted to listen after the COVID year. I wanted Frank to return. I felt like, you know what, everybody deserves a shot at redemption, and I was glad he came back. And I would have loved to have seen this team be the one that gets to the tournament and keeps him in Columbia and revitalizes and re-energizes his career. I think the thing I look at, man, the most with Frank, I think his downfall and undoing was a lack of willingness to evolve. I just, you know, you got to evolve as a coach, man. And Frank Martin is who he is. He's a tough, mean son of a bitch. He wants to play with defense. He wants to foul. He wants to play ugly, sloppy basketball. And guess what, man? That's just not today's game. And today's athlete doesn't want to play that style. They don't respond to it. There's a reason you weren't getting prospects. You weren't getting in-state guys. Not everybody wants to be berated. Not everybody wants to be cussed out every time they mess up a certain assignment. Again, for when he gets the right guys that believe in him, it works. But those guys are few and far in between in today's game. So, again, I just think he didn't evolve. I just think Frank Martin didn't evolve. And you can keep trying to put a square peg in a round hole all you want, but at some point, man, you know, times are changing. And you can say today's athlete is this, that, they're soft, they're a snowflake. But if you can't coach and recruit today's athlete, then you can't coach. Not here where winning actually matters. And again, I applaud the higher-ups. I applaud the higher-ups for showing me that winning matters. You know, you can say whatever you want about Ray Tanner and he's this, that. He's the worst AD in the history. But I'll tell you this. His statement yesterday, I applaud Ray Tanner because that sounded like the statement of a man who's won a national championship. That sounded like the statement of a man that's won an SEC. That sounded like the statement of a man that is demanding more. So I applaud him for that. I applaud, again, all the higher-ups for looking at this program, seeing that there is more in the tank for Gamecocks basketball and saying, Frank, while we appreciate what you've done, we got to make a move because we're trying to get to the next level.
I agree, Chris. And Chris, you know what, Chris? The thing about this, I agree with Wade. He wants to bring our Southeastern Conference to men's basketball and that's championship. And we want that too, you know, Chris?
Man, we just want to make the postseason. I mean, I just want to make a postseason. Yeah. I just want to be looking forward to this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're playing in a game, you know?
Yeah.
Again, I think that's what That's what kind of killed Frank, man, is just we got a taste of it in 2017, how much fun March Madness is. And it's just hard to go back, man. It's hard to go back to never going. And again, I just, you just can't, man, forever. You can't forever hang yourself up on our history. You can't hang yourself up forever on our history. At some point, man, you either demand more, or I guess you accept mediocrity and you just let the program fade in the distance. I mean, there was no reason for Gamecocks women's basketball to ever start winning. Did that stop Dawn Staley and what they're doing now? Absolutely not. But they had never won anything before she got there. You know what I mean? So, like, tradition has to start somewhere. It has to start somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Chris, if they about this, look, it could start staying for a long time. Listen, I know people all go. Remember that?
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But look what South Carolina. We're still with Thursday. This is our guy. This is our woman. They stay committed. So
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I'm excited for the future, man. I'm excited to see who they go get. Times are changing. You can either embrace change or you can fear it. So I think we need to embrace it. Justin, I appreciate the call, my guy. We're going to. I'm trying to get as many calls in here as possible because Shane Beamer's speaking at 12:30, and we are going to air that press conference here. So we got about 20 minutes where he goes live. So I appreciate you, Justin. Though great stuff as always, my friend.
Yeah, take care, Chris. Hope we get the right guy in there.
Oh yeah, no, I think we will. Justin, appreciate you, my man. Great stuff. 843-790-3337. So guys, for those asking, I see y'all commenting. Yes, we will be tuned in to Shane Beamer's press conference at 12:30. Yes, we will be tuned in. So if you want to watch it, you can stay right here. I will be streaming it right here at 12:30. So again, no need to fear. So my guy CJ, you don't have to go anywhere if you don't want to. I will stream it right here. Let's see. Cody Gaskins, I know national championships are everything and we all love to win them. But to you, did you enjoy the Final Four run with the men's or the national championship title from the women's more? I mean, Cody, I don't even want to get in that conversation, man, because you know what I'm saying? Like, but I enjoyed both. They were different. Enjoyed both greatly.
To accept, press 1.
All right.
To send a voicemail.
Robbie, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good. First things first, kudos to the higher-ups for actually growing a pair and doing what they need to do. Was I expecting it? Honestly, no. Did I want it to happen? Yes. But like you just said, his main downfall is he was not willing. Frank Martin was not willing to adjust and adapt. The way he coaches is kind of like a stubborn donkey that you're trying to get to move, and it won't move, but it's being stubborn and it won't move. You want it to move, but it's being stubborn and will not move. I feel like that's the way Frank Martin is with his coaching style.
Right. Yeah, I mean, again, I like I said, my biggest indictment on Frank is I just think he wasn't really willing to evolve, and you have to do something. You've seen it all across different sports. It doesn't matter whether it's basketball, football, baseball, whatever. You got to evolve. So, it's a shame. Like I said, it's a shame. Like I said, but it just at the end of the day, hey, Frank Martin was willing to live and die with his style, and sure enough, his tenure's over. So,
and I didn't even know that he got fired until I called my aunt last night. She told me that he got fired, and I was like, huh? I thought she was joking. I was like, I know it ain't April 1st, so I know you ain't joking.
Robbie, are you on Twitter or Instagram, my friend?
I have the Gamecock app that I listen to, like the basketball games and the football games and the baseball games. So I did check that app, and I saw on there that he got fired.
Okay. So I was gonna say if to avoid this happening again, if you go follow us on Twitter or Instagram and cut on the notifications, you ain't gonna miss anything, my guy. Because I think I tweeted it like 45 seconds after it happened. So because it happened about 3:15 yesterday. No, 3 o'clock yesterday. Yeah, or not even. No, it's like 2:40.
Okay.
Like 2:40. Because I was literally pulled up to Carolina Ale House and it happened. So I'm just trying to help you out, my guy. Just trying to help you out.
Pulling up to Carolina Ale House.
I just trying to help you out, my guy. You know, I hate to hear that you didn't even know about it happened until nighttime, my guy. You got to get on Twitter and Instagram, my guy. We got to get you on social media. I know you're on Facebook. Hey, cut on the notifications on Facebook too. I think you can do that. Yeah.
I'll try that. I wanted to call in real quick because, of course, because of the press conference, but also I wanted to go ahead and get my call in because after I hang up, I gotta search for some clothes to take this weekend because my sister's getting married this weekend.
Congratulations. Yeah, that's incredible.
I don't know how to feel about it quite yet. I mean, I like the guy, but a lot can happen in a week. You know what I mean?
A lot can happen in a week. I hear you. Yeah. Never know.
But yeah, I don't know how. It hasn't really hit me yet that my sister's getting married. It hasn't hit me. It'll probably hit me after they leave to go on the honeymoon.
Gotcha. That'll be a good time. That'll be a good time.
But anyways, today is a big day because today is not only he's got a press conference today, but it's also the first day of spring ball practice. Yes, indeed, it is the first day of spring ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. Yeah, for sure, man. It's exciting getting the guys back out there and just seeing the video, Spencer Rattler and the boys. It's awesome. It's awesome. So, yeah.
And I think this weekend, and I think also this weekend and tonight, we're going to build off of the momentum we got last weekend. I truly do think that. I think we are.
Yeah, I think we should have a lot of fun at the yard because Gardner Webb is cheeks.
If we don't build off of it, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, Gardner Webb is cheeks, so we should have a lot of fun tonight. I mean, just call it for what it is. I mean, I know Xavier wasn't good, but Gardner Webb is not. We should have some fun. We should have some fun. Yeah.
We should have a heyday. We should our pitching staff and our bat should have a heyday. And I don't know why, but I feel like like I said, we're gonna build off of the momentum from this past weekend, and I think we can take 2 or 3 from who are we playing this weekend?
Tennessee. The seventh ranked Tennessee Volunteers. Yes, SEC play gets going this weekend.
That's crazy. This early? Sheesh.
Well, man, we're going into the 6th weekend of the year, so I mean it's about that time. Yeah. I mean, there's 10 SEC weekends, man, so they got to start at some point.
Good. Yep, that's a fact. That's a fact. I think we can build off of last weekend, and I think we can take 2 or 3 from that. I'm gonna do it again, doggone it. It worked last weekend. I'm gonna do it again this weekend.
Yeah, I think we can also, man. Again, I'll be breaking it down more so in depth later in the week, but just got to win the midweek. Win the midweek first tonight. Take care of your business. Approach it the right way, but yeah, it's exciting, man. SEC play around the corner. Right. It's gonna be fun, and we will be the Rowdy Roosters, TSUS. We'll be hitting the road. We will be in Knoxville. I am very much so looking forward to it.
Oh, that'll be fun. That would be a lot of fun.
First time I'll ever be going to Knoxville, so it's going to be a blast.
Nice. And the number one key to spring ball, as always, come out of spring ball with no injury. None.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, listen, spring practice it's awesome to see the guys back out there, and obviously we're really excited for the spring game and everything else. But yeah, and tomorrow's podcast, I was going to do it today, but with the Frank Martin stuff, that kind of took precedent. But tomorrow's show, we'll kind of start talking top storylines for spring ball and position battles and all that fun stuff. But really, I agree with you. The number one thing for spring practice is it's all about fundamentals and reinforcing those and installing things. Just get out of it healthy. Just get out of it healthy. I don't, you know what I mean? Just get out of it healthy. Right. You just do that. That's a successful spring in my mind.
And that's also one of the keys to possibly having a successful season.
Indeed. Robbie, I hate to kick you off, but we got Beamer in 10 minutes, so I'm trying to get as many folks in here as possible.
Yep. You have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, man. I'll hit you up, Robbie.
Yep.
All right, later. Great stuff. Robbie Davis, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Somebody again trying to get as many calls, as many questions, comments, and calls. Todd Smith says he's ready for Spencer Rattler TDs. I appreciate you, Todd. Yeah, if you want to support the business, support the channel, support everything we do, and you're on YouTube, Super Chat, Super Stickers. Also, if you're like Todd Smith, and you tune in the podcast on YouTube and you've been for whatever reason missing it, please shoot me a DM. Or if you don't need to shoot me a DM, guys, you can find the podcast iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts. You can go to Blue Wire's website. We're on there as well, right? And I will tell you guys this. Again, I know you all probably out there, it's obviously not a big deal for you all or whatever. And I don't know if I told Todd this, but I will tell you this. It actually benefits the podcast much more for you to tune in on those platforms I just mentioned than on YouTube. So while I appreciate everyone that tuned in on YouTube, driving up the download numbers on the platforms I mentioned is much more beneficial for the business than listening on YouTube, if that makes sense. Again, I'm not discouraging anyone from listening, but obviously, again, the podcast is not on YouTube anymore. So those platforms I mentioned, again, if you need help finding those platforms, DM me. But it's very simple. It's very simple. Wherever you can find a podcast, we are there. We are there. Justin Moore, and thoughts on Snitker letting Freeman get away and signing Olson. Again, for my Braves fans out there, I look at it kind of this way. I'm not mad at Freddie. Hey, Freddie got you your ring, Atlanta. Let him go get paid. Let him get paid. And I will say this, though, Justin. For the numbers I'm hearing, the money and the amount of years, I don't know that Freddie was worth it, man. And I love Freddie. You see the Braves? I mean, I'm a Braves guy, but at some point, man, the numbers become ridiculous. Like, if the Yankees or the Dodgers want to pay Freddie Freeman what he's probably going to get, I don't blame Atlanta, man. I don't blame Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like they got unlimited money. So I love Freddie. It's weird and tough to think about him in a different jersey, but I don't know, man. I mean, listen, Freddie could have made it work. It's not like Atlanta was trying to nickel and dime the guy, right? Freddie could have made it work, but at some point, it's a business and it's about money. And I don't blame Freddie, by the way, because owners aren't loyal to nobody anyways. So, owners ain't loyal to nobody. So I don't blame him. Go get yours. Go get yours. We got a text here after the decision yesterday. I've gained more respect for Ray Tanner's AD. He showed Gamecock Nation that he had the guts to fire Frank, a friend of many, to better the basketball program, the AD athletics department as a whole. Ray Tanner will not accept mediocrity in Gamecock athletics, and I love it. What a take. Wow, Ray Tanner getting an approval from a fan. That is first I've heard in quite a while. Benjamin DeRosa, Matt Olson is younger and a better glove. From a non-Braves fan perspective, y'all will be just fine. That's certainly one way to look at it. That is certainly one way to look at it. Again, guys, Beamer going live here in about 5 minutes. We will stream that right here, by the way. We will stream that right here. Guys. So do not go anywhere. We'll stream that right here. Yeah, Sean Miller would be an incredible addition. Sean Miller would be an incredible hire. That would be certainly a name, no doubt. I would love to see it. I would personally love to see it. So why not? Tons of questions rolling in, guys. I appreciate you all. Yes, for those asking, it is officially official. TSUS will hit the road this weekend. The Rowdy Roosters are headed to Knoxville, Tennessee as we watch the Yardcocks take on the Volunteers. So any of my Tennessee Gamecocks, any Gamecocks that are around the Knoxville area, in Knoxville, whatever, if you're going up there for whatever reason, would love to link up with you guys. I'm going up with a crew of people, crew of my buddies. Going to be an incredible time. And I've never been to Knoxville. If you've got suggestions, would love to hear it. Courtney, we are driving. Why would you fly to Knoxville? That's not that far. I mean, I guess you could. No, Courtney, we are driving. We are driving. We are splitting gas. Gas is absurd, but we are splitting gas, going to all 3 games. Really looking forward to it. So again, if you guys are up that way, would love to run into you. Would love to see you again before Rebecca even asks. Before Rebecca asks, Rebecca, I do not have tickets yet. Scott Stamey, yes, we're going to be leaving probably Friday at like noon. And again, we will be there all weekend. So like, especially Saturday, the game is at 12. So, I mean, after the game, bro, we're going to be chilling all day. So, yes, CJ, I'm going to be bringing the GoPro for sure, man. That's Behind the Beak's going to be legendary, which, by the way, Behind the Beak will drop either Wednesday or Thursday, the latest Behind the Beak, from Texas weekend and just the week and everything else. So I appreciate you all, man. Behind the Beak will be legendary. Going to be a lot of fun. Again, cannot wait to go with my buddies. And, yeah, it's going to be a great time. Again, as of right now, tentatively, I've got to confirm when we're leaving. But, again, I think it's going to be around noon. Probably no Daily Crow Friday, guys. That's what that's going to mean. Probably no Daily Crow on Friday, just because obviously we're going to be on the road. So again, plenty of content. The content will be bleeding out the eyeballs. You already know. Well, Austin Greer, the good news is I'm not driving. I'm just riding. So, but yeah, Scott Stamey, just hit me up, man. We'll definitely link up for sure. Yeah, it's going to be a good weekend. We're going to go to all 3 games, and hopefully, we're going to see the boys get a big W on the road. Cody Gaskins, we could do a Twitter Spaces. Yeah, that would be fun. We could do a Twitter Spaces. Yeah, again, the possibilities, man. The possibilities are endless. So, very much so. I mean, you guys know, again, I'm going to be making content, man. You guys know I will. You guys know we'll be making content. The content never stops. So, the content never stops. Let's see. Matt Olson has officially arrived at Braves camp. How about it? Here we go. Looks like the video has gone live on YouTube. Greer, your Twitter got... No way. Your Twitter got banned. No way. Wow. My guy... That stinks. That sucks, man. By the way, guys, we are doing a bracket challenge for March Madness. The group name is the Spurs Up Show. It's on ESPN.com. We have posted it all over social media. So be sure to join. The winner of the bracket challenge will receive free merch. I got to take a screenshot of this real quick. Oh, I missed it. There were 69 viewers. Damn it, I missed it. Where did those 7 people go? Now it's down to 62. Whatever. Either way. All right, let's go ahead and share the screen, guys. Again, Shane Beamer about to speak to the media. Connor Lee tied for first. Yeah, I hear you. Okay. I will stay live here and chat with you all until he jumps on. But again, Shane Beamer, of course, speaking to the media, going to discuss, I'm sure, the first day of spring ball and just update us on everything going on. Obviously, the spring roster was dropped as well. No Jaylen Brooks on there. I think that's the big news. You've got updated numbers and everything else. Let's see. We'll hide it until he goes live. Rick Foreman, do you think the next coach can somehow salvage the relationship with Gigi and get him to sign here? I mean, why not? What a way to start your tenure that'd be for the new coach if he could possibly do that. What a way to start the tenure. That'd be incredible. So. Again, guys, sincerely appreciate you all tuning in. Shane Beamer speaking to the media any moment now. Cody, I think he's probably definitely going to talk about Devontae Holloman for sure. Benjamin Arosa, hey, expert bag dropper that Sean Miller is. Hey, I love it. I love it. Drop the bag, my guy. We need an expert bag dropper. We need an expert bag dropper. Absolutely. Absolutely no question we do. Absolutely no question we do. All right, where is Beamer? Where is Beamer? Where are you at, Shane? Where are you at, Shane? We are waiting on Shane Beamer. We are waiting on Shane Beamer. Oh, here we go. All right, I'm off.
Celebrating the Dukes Mayo Bowl win over North Carolina, and here we are starting spring practice. But it was really fun being back out there again. So many new faces, obviously mid-year enrollees that came from high school, the transfers that have come in, some new walk-ons that we've added. I mean, there's a lot of new faces out there, coaches as well. But having said that, I thought it was a great first day. The energy's always going to be good across the country on day one of practice. So that was no surprise. We had great energy, but it was really efficient. You know, guys knew what to do. We had very few pre-snap penalties. I've been a part of some day ones where you've got, 10,000 false starts and offsides and 12 men in the huddle and all that stuff, but we really didn't. Very few penalties, very few pre-snap penalties. Mental errors, we didn't have a lot of those. Guys had retained information here in the off season, and it was a good day one for us as well. You guys got to see a good bit of it, and one thing about our practices is it's nonstop. There's not a lot of standing around. It's high energy and a lot of moving parts going on. So the conditioning is certainly different, and our guys, no matter what they've done in the weight room, it's different when you go out there and practice football for 2.5 hours straight. And the conditioning part of it was great out there today. It's nonstop work, but no one struggled really with that. Give credit to Coach Day and his staff. I mean, the way that our team has worked in the weight room since they came back here in January, all the way through, February. And then you guys saw the video that we put out last night on social media of some of that work, and then culminating with what we called Grit Night a couple of weeks ago out in the woods in the dark. Was a great way for us to finish the off-season program, and our guys have taken that conditioning and didn't lose it all over spring break last week, and came right back and moved around and flew around out there fast today. So ton of work to do, but was really pleased with it from a day one standpoint. Tomorrow will be a walkthrough meeting day for us, and then we'll pick right back up on Thursday with practice number 2. So with that, be glad to take any questions.
Shane, just some clerical stuff. Are Mark Fox and Jalen Brooks still part of the team?
They are not currently a part of the program.
And Dylan Wanham, I think he was maybe kind of limited. Is he recovering okay?
Yeah, he's recovering okay. So obviously he had the back issue last year, and recovering from that. He'll be limited this spring. Don't think he'll be able to do a ton of full speed work, but he's able to do some limited things as well. And going back to that first question too, Dave, with Mark, it was injury situation with him that kind of caught up with him, and then I spoke with Jaylen last week and have been in constant contact with him, but right now he's not part of the program at this point.
Shane, I know we saw Luke out there a good bit. I guess just what's kind of is he limited at all? What's kind of his prognosis at least right now?
Yeah, he is limited, but he's probably farther along than we thought he might be at this point. He was able to He's not full speed, but he's not completely limited, if that makes sense. So he's not able to get out there right now and do a whole lot of 11-on-11 competitive things, but he's able to do quite a bit of individual and drills and things like that. So I think he's 20 weeks out from surgery and is right on pace and making great progress.
Shane, I know you've said in the past couple of weeks how Spencer has been getting up to speed, talking with Marcus, and getting used to the offense. But seeing him on the field today, working with the guys, did you see what you wanted out of him from the first day of practice?
Yeah, I did. I'll go in here, in a second and watch the tape of everything. But just first glance, being out there, I thought he did a great job. A lot of the things that we do here, systematically, organizationally, offensively, are different than what he had been used to at Oklahoma. So he got in the huddle some at Oklahoma, but primarily he did not. So just simple things, being able to walk into the huddle and call a play is different. Not that he didn't do that at Oklahoma. He did when I was at Oklahoma, and he did last year in certain situations, but primarily it was no huddle, and he was signaling plays and things like that. So it's a little bit different. And then, he got under center and took a snap from center some at Oklahoma, but probably did it a little bit more today in practice than what he was used to, because he's used to being in the gun. So those are the things that I wanted to see. And today was primarily like a red zone type day for us. We didn't do a whole lot of open field stuff, so that's tough for a quarterback because you're on the 15-yard line going in most of the day, so there's very limited what you can do from throwing the football. But mechanically and just being able to run the offense, I thought he had a great first day.
Shane, a broad question, but what's just the difference this year in comparison to where this team was at a year ago? We hear the buzzwords like culture, the energy, but can you give us kind of like a behind-the-scenes look of what has changed with over the last 365 days? I
think the biggest thing is just guys knowing what we expect and the tempo that we had that we want to practice with, and I remember going out there day one last year and having to scream and yell and about finishing plays and running to the ball and all that stuff. And not that we didn't have to today, but guys know, what to expect. And I think that's the biggest thing is last year, everything we were doing, Mike, was for the very first time. It was the first time we had ever been out there to practice. Tomorrow would be the first walk-through meeting day that we had. Guys, the returners at least, know what to expect, and that's probably the biggest thing for me. How we do things and what's expected of everyone is a little bit better understood this year. And then I think also the new guys that we have brought in, whether it be high school or college transfers, they've really come in and they've forced everybody around them to elevate their games even more so as well, on and off the field with what they're doing, and they're older guys that are here on a purpose.
Am I good first? Speaking of that, Rattler out there, we only saw him for a little bit, but seemed to be having fun, getting along well with the guys. Can't be easy making that transition for culture, especially as a quarterback where there's kind of an element of expected leadership. You've been around him more. How have you seen how he's adapted quickly to the culture and to the guys around him? Yeah, I think he's done a great job. And credit Spencer and credit the guys around him as well, because it's not an easy situation to come into, whether you're Spencer coming from Oklahoma and what he had done out there, or whether you were somebody that's the guys on the team had never heard of. It's not easy walking into a SEC football program in January and getting acclimated. But he's done a great job. Spencer's a great young man. He's really come in and just be himself and just work really, really hard. I think the guys around him respect that, and the players on our team that were here, have done a great job of welcoming Spencer and all the transfers, new arrivals, high school, everybody, to the program. And, at the end of the day, we all are on the same team, and we all want what's best for South Carolina. And whether it's Spencer or anybody else, it's important for all of our returning players to make those guys feel welcome. And both sides have done a great job of doing that, in my opinion.
Shane, you mentioned Jaylen not being with the program right now. Are you leaving the door open for a possible return, or is that door completely closed? I'm
not going to get into all that. He's not with us right now. We'll see what the future holds.
And I guess with Josh Van obviously opted to come back for another year. What have you seen from him in workouts and stuff like that to show you maybe he's taken another step?
Yeah, he's been awesome. He really has. He came back for a reason, and a lot of those are personal goals and wanted another year to continue to get better as a football player. But a lot of those were team-wise as well, and to win more than 7 games and to have an even better season than what we had last year. And he's done a great job of just kind of setting the tone, and he's the leader along with DK and some of those older guys in that wide receiver room. And he's done a great job of being a leader on and off the field, and proud of the way that he's working. I mean, some of the competitive drills that we did over the last month or so at night, he's been right in the middle of those things and has had some battles, to say the least, just some one-on-one competitive situations that we've put guys in, and he's been right in the middle of it and has been awesome. So really proud of him and what he's doing on and off the field.
Shane, two quick questions for you. Obviously, on the defensive side, there were some guys that had a decision on whether to move on or come back, and so that gives you guys a lot of experience on that side of the ball. Can you talk about if there's been maybe just a mentality shift just with all that experience on that side of the ball? And then, too, it didn't look like Sherrod Green was very limited today. Can you just speak to him and just kind of his recovery and where he is?
Yeah, Sherrod's another one. He obviously is a little bit different injuries, but farther along than Luke because he got hurt with that Georgia game, so before Luke did. So Sherrod's right on track. He was limited in all the competitive things that we did over the last month, but has progressed nicely since then. And he's not full speed, but he's moving really, really fast towards being full speed. And then leadership-wise, there are, you got some key pieces back. 3 of the 4 starters in the secondary are back. Sherrod's coming off an injury, but Brad's played a lot of snaps. Mo Kaba played a lot of snaps for us last year. That defensive line is an older group. Having a guy like Zach Pickens come back for another year. MJ Webb's an older guy that's played a lot of football. So there is, good leadership, but we also, we lost some critical leaders on that defense. Jalen Foster was out at practice today, and Zaquandre White was out at practice today. And, Jaylen, I was telling him just how much I miss him just from a leadership standpoint, especially because he and Jabari Ellis did a great job leading that defense last year and kind of being the glue in a lot of ways. So we do have some key pieces back, but it'll be a big challenge for us this year to the guys that are coming back to be the leaders that those guys were for us last year, and find those guys that set the tone. And everything I've seen shows me that they're on the way, to doing that. And it's certainly having the amount of experience we have, particularly up front, coming back, and then obviously the three returners in the secondary is huge also.
Rick was out there, obviously, and what have you seen from him? Where's he at, and what can you share with us about David Spalding? Because I think I saw him on the sideline.
Yep, and we need a separate press conference just for injuries and health of the football team. Golly, veteran coach would have just run through the injury report beforehand and could have gotten to it. Rookie mistake. Let's see. Rick, he's, I know I sound like a breaking record, limited, but coming along. And he's close. Obviously, he got hurt, in August last year and didn't do anything all last season. The rehab's been a little bit slower than probably he would have liked. But, we talked a couple weeks ago about just time to take the next step and continue to get closer and closer to playing. And he's hungry, and I'm optimistic that he'll be back to full speed soon. He's not full speed right now, but on track, and hopefully he'll be able to do some full speed things here in the springtime. He needs to before the spring is out, for sure. It's time for him to take another step, and he's eager to do that. And then Spalding is coming off an off-season surgery that he had, I guess, right when we came back from the bowl game. Nothing that will limit him when we get into the season. But it's just something that we needed to go in and clean up kind of in his pec area that we just need to get fixed. That he struggled with a little bit last year. He fought through some stuff throughout the season and just wanted to get that fixed where it wasn't an issue for him going forward. So we wanted to do that as soon as possible when we came back from the bowl game. So that's what he got done, and he'll be full speed certainly by the season and hopefully before then.
Then obviously Jalen Dickerson stepping into his role. Can you share what that'll look like for him and what he'll be doing moving forward? Yeah,
Jalen's a guy that, has been around this program for a while and, had played a lot of football and his body was just beat up and certainly loves playing the game. And, I don't want to speak for Jaylen, but I think he just felt like his body was to the point where he wasn't 100% and was going to be hard for him to perform at the level he wanted to with him not being quite at 100% and just battling injuries like he had. And he's an asset to this program on and off the field. So we certainly talked to him about becoming a student assistant coach, and it's great. We were out there today. I was staying on the sideline talking to Jalen Foster, and we were yelling at him on the sideline because he was moving around too slow and not doing a great job coaching, in our opinion. But now he'll be awesome, and excited that he's going to be around this program still, even though he's not playing. And what a great young man. I mean, he's been in our staff meetings now, obviously, because he's a coach, and just listening to him. He came up to me a couple weeks ago just talking about how fortunate he is to be here and how much he's enjoyed being around the coaches in this realm, not as a player. So happy for him. And I should have mentioned it, happy to have Devontae Holloman back, a part of the program as well. I've always, like I said, from the day I got here, want to get our former players back involved more and more. And was glad the timing worked out to get Devontae here. It's not every day you're able to add a former player that had played in the NFL, but had also won a state championship, as a high school coach that's from the state of South Carolina. So excited to have Devontae out here, being a part of the program. He's working with the defense as an analyst, and will be a great resource for our staff and our team as well.
Shane, nothing against the guys who played QB for you last year, but having a guy like Spencer with the mobility, how much does that open up, increase, or just maybe even redefine the offensive playbook and what you guys want to do on offense?
Yeah, I think always you want to take what your 11 guys on offense can do, what your personnel best suits, and as we go through these next 14 practices now, we'll build this offense and around what we do best. But Spencer is certainly a guy that, one, has played a lot of football and has a lot more experience than those other quarterbacks do. And two, he has a unique skill set. He's got a great arm talent, but he's athletic enough and can run around as well. So he's it certainly is we're able to expand, some of the things that we do, especially because of his just experience from, playing and being around different schemes and things like that. And then we just got to build what we do around him and our other quarterbacks. And we've got some talented guys. I mean, Braden Davis is a good young player. Colton's coming in year 2. Luke's getting healthy, and DK showed what he can do at quarterback. So we've got a lot of options there, which is fun to be able to play with.
Hey, Coach. I'm wondering, as spring practice gets underway leading up to the spring game, are there any guys, maybe underclassmen or new incoming transfers, that you've challenged to kind of step up into a big role with the program, and maybe how have they responded to that?
Yeah, I think with all of our guys, a lot, I would hope we've challenged them all to step up and take that next step. Obviously we lost 2 starters on the defensive line, and Aaron Sterling and JJ. So in my mind, it's time for Jordan Birch and Jordan Strawn to take that next step, and they know that. In the secondary, we lost a key figure, like I mentioned a minute ago, with Jalen Foster. So with RJ Roderick and Darius Rush and Cam Smith, for those guys to take the next step and build on what they did last season on the field, but also from a leadership standpoint as well. Kevin Harris and Zaquandre White are gone, so that running back room is, to me, that whole group's talented. Who's going to step up and be the guy? And really impressed with the way that Marshawn Lloyd has worked since he came back in January, and the purpose that he's going about his business with each and every day. So I think he could go on in all those positions, but that's what's exciting about each each year's everything's new, and we talked about it this morning as a team in our team meeting that 2021 is behind us, and no matter what you did last year, that's great, but you got to build on it. And there's no guaranteed starters in here. We're competing, and the guys that are dependable that are good enough, we'll find a role for, and want that aggressive competition all across the board.
Shane, just to clarify, you guys didn't have to get Rick an extra year of eligibility or anything like that. He was still had one, right?
Yeah, we haven't had to go through anything from that standpoint.
And then a little off topic, but I'm just curious kind of what your relationship with Frank Martin was in your time here, and kind of what kind of interaction you guys had at least while he was here.
Yeah, no, Frank's been he's been great to me. Knew him a little bit before I came here. Had met him at some events outside Columbia, when I was at Oklahoma, I guess. And he's been great to me since I've been here. I was over there, I guess last week, the day they left for Tampa. I went over there and watched them practice and spent a couple hours over there. And he, like a lot of our coaches here at Carolina, have been very supportive of me, and we've traded text messages and phone calls throughout my season. I would get from him, and during his season as well, and understand that it's part of the business, and he certainly elevated the basketball program here during his time. It's a better situation for the new coach walking in than what it was, I guess, when Frank took over when he first got hired, and certainly wish he and his family well, and thank them for all they did for Carolina. Also, he's a good friend, and excited to see where he lands next.
Shane, you're able to get guys back on campus now from a recruiting aspect. Just what's the response been coming off, obviously, last season? Where do you guys stand with this 2023 group, and how much recruiting momentum do you guys feel like you have going into the spring and in the offseason?
Yeah, I think really good. Coming off just a lot of momentum with this program just in general, and that's certainly felt in recruiting, and it's great to have prospects back on campus. And we had a great month of January right after the bowl game with prospects that were here. And then today we had some big-time players out at practice today as well that are still here, that'll be spending the afternoon with us, that I'll get to visit with here in a little bit. So certainly coming off the momentum of last season, winning 3 of 5, winning the bowl game over North Carolina like we did, has done nothing but just add to that momentum. And anytime you can get players on campus and their families to see how great the city of Columbia is and how beautiful this campus is, and see this amazing facility, it's a positive for us. So we've really worked hard to get prospects on campus as often as possible, and that's going to be during the month of March and spring practice, and then going into April with the spring game, and on and on and on.
Hey, Shane, for the portion of practice we were able to see, it looked like Zeb and Spencer were talking a lot between reps and between drills and everything. What kind of an asset is he going to be for the quarterback position this year, and how has he made the transition, I guess, back to coaching after putting on the pads last season?
Yeah, he's done a great job. He's he's gone from quarterback into actually babysitting for my wife and I some as well. He's like the most popular babysitter in my neighborhood. If we're ever going anywhere, my kids, all they do is they want Zeb to come over. So he came over a couple weeks ago and babysat, and had some neighborhood kids come over. So he's truly gone from player to graduate assistant now that he's babysitting for the head coach some. But he's been awesome. Every reason that we hired him last summer to be a graduate assistant is there, and then some. And he'll be a fantastic resource with Spencer, or for Spencer, and all those quarterbacks, because he just played, in our most recent game. He was playing in it. He was an older guy to begin with, and then he's been in this offense. Speaking with Spencer directly, or specifically with Spencer, they've both been Big 12 quarterbacks, so they have that connection, if you will. So he'll be a great resource for all of them. And Luke Doty's been great, with Spencer also. Luke's been awesome, just helping him and giving him pointers and coaching tips with the system and things like that. So that's a great group, and they're, like all those positions, they know that the better each person is in that room, the better the group's going to be, the better the team's going to be, and that's been very evident with the quarterbacks.
Shane, we had a chance to speak with Marshawn Lloyd the other day, and he says that he's feeling better now than he was maybe 2 years ago when he arrived, and he's just excited didn't take part in spring ball, I think, his freshman year, so he's just excited to get back on the field. How have you seen him grow since you first arrived here and got to know him as he's continued to battle back and try to get back mentally, not just physically, from that ACL injury?
Yeah, no, he's been great. And you know, Marshawn is like so driven. You guys have been around him. I mean, he is on a mission and very driven to be great at everything that he does. And you know, I want him to enjoy it and have fun and all that as well along the way and enjoy the process. But he's on a mission. You know, that's the best thing I can say. And people forget he's still young and he hasn't played a lot of football because, you know, he got here in 2020 and had the knee injury and then was limited last spring and really couldn't do much. So last season was his first year of playing, and who knows if he was ever really 100% just coming off that injury. So, you know, now that he's getting a ton of reps and whatnot, I think he realizes the time is now, and it's a great opportunity for him. And he's been a great leader. He's got some good players that we've around him at that running back position. We've elevated the competition to try and make that whole room better, and he's done a great job of handling his business in the weight room, academically, and then out there on the field today.
Shane, obviously, I know we didn't get to observe the entire 2+ hour practice, but we did observe Marcus working with the offensive line a little bit. Do you envision him kind of working a little more closely with that position group through the spring and into fall camp?
No. He may have. I mean, he's the coordinator, so he's going to kind of be involved with every position, and he's got background, you know, with the offense. So he may have been, you know, talking to him. There's certain times in practice where the quarterbacks get together with the centers. There's certain times where we're just doing walkthrough on air, and he may be talking to the offensive lineman about different things. But no, I mean, he's working with the quarterbacks. He's the offensive coordinator, but just like, you know, Pete Limbo's in charge of every position on special teams, and Clayton White's ultimately responsible for every position on defense. Marcus is responsible for everything on offense. So I think I wouldn't read too much into that. He works with the offensive line. He works with the running backs, receivers, tight ends, and along with the rest of the offensive staff.
With Carlin's obviously working to get in the league, and David with his deal, what's that position going to look like this spring, since those were obviously your two guys there?
Yeah, good question. It's a work in progress. You know, we did some last year where if we tried to get some bigger personnel on the field, you know, Mo Kaba played like that Sam linebacker position. Darrell Ware did it some for us. Cam was actually working at it, you know, today. Cam Smith. So that's one that we'll have to continue to find guys that can do that. You know, David's coming back, but you need some other ones. And then there's some smart guys in that secondary that have played a lot of snaps. So the more those guys can do, the better. And Coach Gray's doing a great job of trying to teach those guys everything, you know, where we are interchangeable. But it is a little bit of an issue during spring practice just because, you know, David's not going right now and Carlin's graduating.
Unfortunately, I saw Parker White standing on the side. He's no longer kicking for you guys. Just kind of what's going on in the journey to replace a guy that did all he did during his time here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, first of all, again, what a weapon he was, and I know y'all are tired of me saying it, but God, what a joke it was that he wasn't a finalist for that Lou Groza Award. Still bothers me for what he did last season. He was so dependable and was a weapon. So excited to be able to follow his career, you know, going forward. And I hope all of Gamecock Nation appreciates what a great kicker he is and was for us. And that's another one that it's a great competition. You asked a question a minute ago about guys stepping up. Somebody's got to step up and replace Parker White to the best of their ability. And, you know, we got some good returning specialists here in the program that now's their time to step up. We've added a transfer in Jack Luckhurst that's on the roster right now as well. that we, are excited about to see what he can do. And that's something that, Coach Limbo's actively working at through recruiting and the current guys on our roster as well to try and get that to the level that it was this past season.
Following up on the DBs with Anthony Rose specifically, is he working at one particular position right now, or are you guys trying to get a feel of what he might fit in best at?
Just trying to get a feel, you don't want to overload those young freshmen too much. So, with Devani coming in from Central Michigan, working at safety, and then Anthony and Peyton Williams are both out there today. I'm sure their head was spinning trying to figure out everything. But both those guys are working at safety. But, both of them are smart, intelligent young men. Talking about Peyton and Anthony, they're both smart, intelligent, and have a lot of position flexibility. So through one practice, that's where we are. But eager to see what those guys can continue to do over the next 14 as well. All right, got it. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Okay, that will do it for Shane Beamer. Speaking after today's practice, the first practice of of spring ball in the books. Shane Beamer speaking to the media. Really, really good stuff there from Coach Beamer. Whoops, we got YouTube still up here. Okay, really good stuff from Shane Beamer speaking to the media. A lot of great tidbits, a lot of great sound bites, and of course, that is the first of many as we get going the first of 15 practices that this team will go through, including the spring game on April the 16th. So again, guys, really good stuff. You want to talk about that? We can talk Frank Martin. We can talk baseball game tonight as well. Baseball game tonight as well as South Carolina takes on Gardner-Webb in the game at Founders Park. Another midweek matchup for the Gamecocks. 7 o'clock first pitch on the SEC Network Plus. So, going to be a ton of fun at Founders. We'll be out there. Look forward to seeing you there. Again, 843-790-3377, guys. That's 843-790-3377. And again, I was thinking about this while Shane Beamer was speaking. It's a beautiful thing first. It's a beautiful thing, but it's incredible how football moves the needle. You know what I mean? Like we can, there's really, as much as I love baseball, and basketball is what it is. And certainly we love Carolina basketball. Don't get me wrong, but there is just truly nothing that moves the needle like football. You think about it, guys, there's no other sport that we can sit there and preview it and break it down and dissect it for months before the first game. You guys realize, right? Like we start previewing football in May and early June. June, July, August. We are breaking down football, previewing football. Like it's crazy. But I love it. Again, it's a content creator's dream, and there's nothing that moves the needle, man, like football does. There's nothing that moves the needle like football does. Again, guys, I want to continue to hear from you, your questions, your comments. Again, Shane Beamer speaking to the media after the first practice of the season. The first practice. We are going to, let's see, Adam Ritter says, Panic Ritter is worried about the ladies. Ritter, I would just advise you to put your panic aside, my guy, because the women's team is the last thing you need to be panicking about. Truly. Panic Ritter just panics about everything. Even if it's not warranted, even if it's not deserved, Panic Ritter is there. No doubt. Courtney Washington, if we open the season at least 2-2, we might be on to something. Courtney, would you not agree that we should open the season at minimum 2-2? At minimum. You've got Georgia State, Arkansas, Georgia, but then you've got 2 games against SC State and Charlotte. You should at minimum be 3-2 after 5, right? Roy Gwynn, what was the question about Satterfield and the O-line? He just asked, would Satterfield be working closer with the O-line because he saw him out at practice, I guess, chatting with those guys or working with them, and Beamer just said, no. He was just talking to him today, but he's not going to be like, working with the offensive line or anything. Austin Greer, would it not be such a Gamecock move to drop the game to Gardner Webb tonight? Would it be a Gamecock move? It would just be a massive letdown, and I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, again, it's, I guess, for the sake of talking about it, we can, but it's not going to happen, guys. I've dropped my prediction. I've got South Carolina winning the game 14-3. I don't think it's going to be close. Gardner Webb of the Big South. I know I said what I said about Xavier last week, but Gardner Webb is even below. See, like, I get a DM, like, hypothetically speaking, if we were to part ways with Kingston, who we go after? Like, guys, we're 15 games in the year. I just don't see the point in talking about replacing a coach when it's like we're not even remotely near that point. You know what I mean? Either way, whatever. Guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Guys, we're going to reset real quick. Jump into a quick break. And then after the break, I want to hear from you, your questions, your comments, your calls, and more. On the other side, you're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back taking your questions, comments, and calls. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Appreciate you all tuning in. Somebody asked, when do spring game tickets go on sale? William Simpson. William, I don't think they're going to go on sale, man. I think it's just free. You just show up and you go. There's no tickets or anything. I know last year there were tickets, but I think that was more because of, we were coming out of COVID and everything. So normally when you go to a spring game, there are no tickets. It's just a free event. You just walk in. So you should not have to worry about tickets. And again, man, hey, the spring game's in a month. So I think USC, if there's anything like that, they will announce it, right? They're not going to leave you in the dark. So, but as far as I know, the spring game, they've already said it's completely free. And I'd be kind of shocked if you had to have a ticket. So just my 2 cents. JG Lashley asks, I joined live late. I don't know if this has been answered. With Frank being fired, do you see anyone leaving the program? So which returners do you see leaving us now that Frank is gone? I mean, I wouldn't. I think you'd be. I think it'd be unrealistic to think that everybody's going to come back. You know what I mean? There's going to be some guys for sure that I think, we're not fans of the move. And, if that's a Devin Carter, if that's somebody else, and so be it. But again, man, you can't just not make a move because this guy's going to leave or that guy's going to leave. Or it is what it is, man. When it's time, it's time. And like I said, I'm happy South Carolina did make the move. Again, guys, would love to hear from you, your thoughts on that move. Frank Martin being fired, obviously, that's the big topic of conversation today. That is the big topic of conversation today, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. We had a text here, Tyler texting in with the addition of Beal Smith, who is RB1. Again, you've got like 17 running backs. I feel like between Beal Smith and Lavassier Carroll and Marshawn Lloyd and Juju McDowell and all these guys, I would not be shocked to see Beal Smith be the guy, but it's so early, man. It's almost too early to tell. I mean, again, man, what have we seen that would tell you that this guy's RB1 or that guy's RB1 or what have you? So, that's what spring ball is for. That's what fall camp will be for. So the good news is you got plenty of options. The good news is you have plenty of options. That's a beautiful thing. Options are a great thing. Travis Lee, Braves locked in Matt Olson. 8 years, $168 million. Not bad. Trevor Boyd, Chris, given Sean Miller and all the trouble he's gotten into, would you still take him? Yeah. Yep. It's a no-brainer, my guy. It's an absolute no-brainer. Yep. I would 1,000% take him. Let's see. Rebecca, if you can get to Knoxville, would love to see you. If you can get to Knoxville, love to see you. Again, we're leaving on Friday in case you missed it. TSUS hitting the road. The Rowdy Roosters are hitting the road. We are going to Knoxville, Tennessee this weekend to watch South Carolina take on the Volunteers in the SEC opener, SEC series opener, if you will, at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. I've never been to Knoxville ever, so again, really excited. Going to get a look at the city, and excited to see Neyland. I won't be going in, obviously, but excited to see Neyland and just see Knoxville and everything else. So really, really pumped, man. Really pumped for that, and excited. So looking forward to it. If any Rowdy Roosters are going to be there, let me know. Any Gamecocks in the Knoxville area, if any of you guys are going to be there, we'd love to link up. Travis said, let's just thank Frank. He took us to heights we've never seen on the Final Four run. Now let us go get a damn good coach. Yeah, I mean, Travis, I agree. Let's jump to the phone lines.
From Rebecca.
Rebecca, what's going on? How are you?
Nothing much. I'm trying to get some gas money to come up there.
Man, gas is like gold right now.
It's like $4 up here in Tennessee.
Yeah, it's a bitch and a half. That's for damn sure.
I mean, I really want to come up there and everything, but I got to see what I can do about gas money by the time before Friday.
Yeah. How far are you from Knoxville again?
I'm not about an hour and 45 minutes away.
Okay, it's a little bit of a drive, though. It's a little bit of hey, these gas prices, they can kiss my ass. I can tell you that.
Well, that's what I say. I'm trying to get up there for Friday.
Yeah, well, we'll be there all weekend, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually riding with some people, and we're splitting the gas, so shouldn't be hopefully quite as bad. But yeah.
Because I really want to come up there.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I'm very excited.
You did say that you would cover the food and the ticket.
We'll talk off the air, Rebecca. I got you. I'm working out. I think our guy is getting tickets. I will look into that and everything else. So we'll talk off the air and figure out the specifics.
Okay, I didn't know because I just wanted to make sure, you know. But sorry for bringing it up on air.
Oh, you're fine. No, you're fine. Like I said, I just really just don't know right now. Like I said, I just found out that I'm going yesterday, and you know what time. I'm trying to figure out when we're leaving, where we're staying, all that, whatever. But
All right.
anyway, it's gonna be a good weekend. I'm excited.
I like that the coach come up there and we watched the video that y'all did that streaming live. I enjoyed it.
The what now?
There's, you know, the video of the coach.
Oh yeah, Shane Beamer. Yes.
Right, I can't think of his name. Sorry. I enjoyed that we got to watch that, and I appreciate you putting that on there for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime Beamer is anytime Beamer's speaking, I mean, obviously we're going to have it up there. I'm not going to just go live while he's, because I want to see it too. I want to hear from him too. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll see what I can do. Try to get some gas money to head up there.
Yeah, just let me know what your plan is, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah. I'll try to get up there. It'll probably be Friday that I'll be up there. Saturday and Sunday I won't.
Gotcha.
So, anyway, go Gamecocks.
Rebecca, go Gamecocks. Well said. Appreciate you.
All right. I'll let you go.
For sure. Great stuff as always from Rebecca. Skyland Davis says 4 free tickets for tonight's game. Skyland, if you got those 4 free tickets, I guarantee you I could find 4 Gamecock fans that want to use them. So if you want to hit me up off the air, yeah, we'll make it happen. Let's see. I think Sean Miller would be a great fit as the basketball coach. I mean, he's a name. If you're going to get rid of Frank, people are asking about my short list of candidates and who I want to see. I'll be honest with you, I haven't done my research in regards to top candidates, but if you're going to get rid of Frank Martin, which I think was actually the right decision, obviously, but if you're going to get rid of him, you can't go get a slapdick. You got to go get a name, bro. You got to go get the right fit. So, you start talking about Mike Boynton, Bob Ritchie, Sean Miller, obviously a big name. Go get a guy. And also go get someone that understands and embraces the challenges of winning here and that wants to do things that are unprecedented and wants to do things that haven't been done here before. So, Trevor Boyd, people want Mike Boynton because he's a South Carolina guy. That's why. But, but I say this, though, to people that knock that for that reason, I mean, it worked with Beamer. I know it's a different sport, but it worked with Beamer, thus far at least. So, let's jump to the phone line, too.
Call from
Skyland, what's up, man? How are you?
What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
How you feel about the Frank Martin fire?
I think it was necessary, and I applaud. The higher ups at the University of South Carolina for having the stones to make a tough decision.
What would you say to the fans that are freaking out, saying this is the worst? This is the worst thing that the university could have done. And this was so stupid. There were never another coach like Frank Martin. And the next 10 years are going to be so bad. Frank Martin was the best we can get, and all we can get.
I think people fear change. And again, listen, it's college sports, right? It's college sports where folks take it so personally, like to just unprecedented heights. In college athletics, the coaches become family, right? They're like your uncle, your brother. They become family. The players are like your children. That's why when you do what I do, you have to really learn how to tiptoe the line of critical and right over the top, because they're amateurs, they're kids. That's our coach. He chose us. That recruit, he chose us. We're just so grateful. Poor little South Carolina that Frank Martin will want to coach here. It's not like that in pro sports, right? Because they're paid. They're not amateurs. Hey, your favorite NFL team, MLB team, they might sign a guy. You can say he's a bum. Like, that dude's a bum. He sucks. How do you think Steelers fans are feeling right now signing Mitchell Trubisky as their quarterback? He's a bum. He's terrible. But you can say that because he's a paid professional, right? So college fans, they take it so personally. And so for Frank, a guy that, listen, he did bring success here that we hadn't seen. He did have a run of a decade that, in regards to just like overall record and SEC record and whatever, he did do some things that happened. Of course, the Final Four. But fans become so attached to these guys, and people fear change. It is in the human nature and in the human instinct for most, you fear change. And change hurts to a degree. Hey, there were people upset when Muschamp got let go. Believe it or not. I mean, there were people that wanted me exiled from the fan base for calling for Muschamp's job when I did, the way in which I did. And now it's popular to dislike Will Muschamp, which makes me laugh. Honestly, it makes me laugh. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. You're going to have those people. But you know what? It really goes to show, again, and you can get as upset at this as you want, but those people that say, oh, we're doom and gloom. We got rid of Frank. Program is doomed. We he brought us. I mean, we can't get any better. We can't do any better. Just goes to show you how pathetic the program's been. Truly. I mean, here's the thing. What do you have to lose in rolling the dice? Because, hey, you want to say, well, we're going to slip back into oblivion and nobody's going to care about the games. Bro, nobody cared in January when we were 1-4. I mean, apathy set in, man. Apathy set in with people for the majority.
The thing with me, that is, people say, oh, blah, 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 blah. Look, he made the tournament one time. You're not going to the tournament. So what's the difference of not going to the tournament and not going to the tournament? There's no difference.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like, yeah, I mean, I saw somebody say on Twitter, yeah, when we haven't made the tournament once, in 10 years from now, we haven't made the NCAA tournament once, y'all are going to look back and be sorry. I'm going to be like, I was like, that. Okay, so we're not going to make that's only one less tournament than Frank went to in a decade. So what's the difference? How long can you hang on to the Final Four run, man? How long? You just, it was the right decision. Nobody dislikes Frank Martin. Everyone, I feel like, is appreciative of what he did. He raised the bar at Carolina. But at some point, man, you're getting paid too much money to spin your wheels. And that's what was happening. You're getting too much money. to spin your wheels. And outside of a pocket of like 10 people on Twitter, I could name them off in my head. The Frank Martin, they would jump off a bridge for this man. I mean, they would take a bullet for this man. They think he should just get a lifetime contract. There's about 10 of them on Twitter. Outside of that, I think everyone understands this move. I think for the most part, I'd say 95% of Gamecock Nation's like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that was probably the right move. And then, of course, you got your 5% that are just, again, undying loyalty, which is great. You need those kind of people in your program. You need those kind of fans that will just blindly support no matter what. But for the rest of us, those who can think critically and those who can somewhat remove their fandom a little bit and just look at the situation and say, that makes sense. You were spinning your wheels. You didn't capitalize on a Final Four run. And is Frank Martin, was he the only problem? Is firing him going to solve all our problems? No, but you can't sit there and do nothing. You just can't sit there and do nothing.
And you can't hold him here because one recruit wants to come here.
Right. And again, you can say it's on South Carolina for the program, this, the facilities, that. Frank Martin, simply put, did not evolve as a basketball coach. That's why he's not here anymore. He didn't evolve. He did not evolve as a basketball coach. He wanted to play the same exact style, that hard-nosed, defense-first, hack-a-shack, boring, unattractive brand of basketball. That's what he wanted to do. And he did it come hell or high water. Well, now he don't have a job. So I respect it. Stick to your guns. But if you can't evolve and you can't get the most out of today's athlete and you can't recruit today's athlete and you can't coach today's athlete, then you can't coach here. You can't coach in the SEC. You can't coach at a school that's going to pay you top 25 money. You can't do it. You have to be willing to change. Again, you can say, well, the net hates us. Well, the selection committee hates us. Well, then go get a coach that they like, because the offensive efficiency numbers and this numbers and that, and things that probably shouldn't matter as much as they do, but they do. So blame Frank for not evolving as a coach. He was a guy that, when he got the right pieces, the Sindarius Thornwells and the Dwayne Notices and the Doziers and the Coatsars and the Silvas, when he got his guys, it worked. But outside of that, man, he's tough to play for. He was a mean son of a bitch. I mean, he evolved boys to men, don't get me wrong, but that's not what you're paid to do. You're paid to go win basketball games. That's it. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day, man. Bottom line is he didn't do it enough.
Who would you like to come here and coach? I'll give you my opinion.
I don't really have a short list yet, man. I mean, obviously the name's floating around. I think Sean Miller would be a name. I think that would be a hell of a name, a splash.
I feel like he uses you for a stepping stone.
Maybe maybe he does. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
I would like Bob Ritchie at Furman. He grew up in Columbia. Furman scores a lot of points. They win a lot of basketball games.
Mm-hmm.
They was one win away from going to the NCAA tournament this year. I just feel like he will love this school and love this program, just like Shane Beamer, because he feels like South Carolina is a dream job for him. And I just feel like he will build this program up with passion and love, and he has a great offensive scheme from him. So I wouldn't mind him.
I wouldn't mind it. I mean, again, roll the dice. What do you have to lose? It's not like we're winning anything anyways. It's not like we're getting to postseasons. Roll the dice. Why not?
He's 111 and 46 at Furman.
Yeah.
But Shane Miller would be a great hire. He's one at Xavier. He's one at Arizona. He got in trouble for recruiting. Who knows? But even if we do hire him and use him as a stepping stone, at least he'll leave a program better than he would now. It is now, even if he uses it for a stepping stone.
Yeah.
Because if you win at South Carolina, teams are going to come at you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, we'll have to see how the coaching search shakes out, but certainly there are names out there, and again, we're going to be. I haven't really sat down and done all my research in regards to these names and their backgrounds and everything else. To be honest, with just whatever, but yeah, go find the right fit, man. You got to go find the right fit.
Well, I hope you have fun. You going all 3 days this weekend, or just Saturday?
Yeah, we're going to all three. We're leaving at like noon Friday, so the game's at 6:30 Friday night. So we'll be at all three, I believe.
Oh yes, sir.
Yeah,
heck
so
yeah.
The Rowdy Roosters invading. Rowdy Roosters are invading Lindsey Nelson. So,
how did you get a ticket for Saturday? I looked everywhere. Is this completely sold out?
My buddy is handling the ticket thing. I have no idea. My buddy is handling the ticket thing. So.
Well, if you will, shoot me a message because I'm going to need 2 for Saturday.
Are you going to Tennessee?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a 2-hour Columbia. Well, I live in Columbia is an hour-and-a-half drive. Where I live, Tennessee is a 2-hour drive. So it ain't like it's a bigger difference. It's not that big of a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Georgia. Columbia's an hour-and-a-half drive. Georgia's a 2-hour and 15-minute drive from where I'm at. It's not that big of a to get on the car and go.
All right. Well then, hey, I'll see you up there then.
Plus the game's at 12, and you over at 3, and you can spend the afternoon in Knoxville.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I mean, I've never been up there, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, they have a good mall. They do have a pretty damn good mall.
Yeah.
You ain't like 30 minutes from Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge.
Gotcha.
So you're not far from a bunch of things. Well, my guy, have fun, and hopefully we get us another series win, and the offense does their thing this weekend.
Yeah, it'd be huge, man. It'd be a huge series W for sure.
Yeah, but the only thing I'm concerned this weekend, because I don't know if you remember, I called you and I said, wouldn't be surprised if the hit turned on and we beat Texas 2 out of 3 because Texas offense isn't that good. My only concern is this weekend Tennessee's an offensive team and they hit the ball.
Right.
And that's where I feel like that's going to come.
Yeah, I mean, our pitching staff, our pitching staff's going to get a challenge this weekend. There's no question. I mean, again, one of the top offenses in college baseball. I don't necessarily have it pulled up right now. I can pull it up, but they're certainly one of the best.
What carried Texas was their defensive pitching, not their offense. Well, what carried
Tennessee, get this. Tennessee is number 1 in the country as of the weekend, going into tonight. They are number 1 in the country in batting average at 356.
And they ranked.
They rank. Let's see. They are number 1 in hits. They have 199 hits in 16 games. They are also first in homers with 43. So, yeah, they can swing it a little bit. They are first in doubles with 55. Good God. I mean, they've also beaten the absolute shit out of everybody. I mean, they're scoring like 20 runs a game, dude. It's nuts. Let's see. I'm going to try to find they have runs per game on here.
So, with that being said, I'll give you my predictions. I mean, I've heard yours. No, you're not going to like it. I feel like we got some great arms and some great young guys, and I actually do feel like next year we're going to be better as a team next year. With Lambros and Ector getting their shots and Messina getting swings and, Evan Stone getting playing time and, we get a bunch of young guys getting their pitching time. But I think the difference between beating the number 1 team and not beating Tennessee will be the offense.
Yeah. By the way, just to give you an idea, Tennessee has scored 197 runs in 16 games.
Yeah.
they're averaging over 10 runs a game. Like, I mean, granted, again, they've also scored like 20 runs against Iona, all that. So, yeah. I mean, you know.
So with that being said, I feel like the best case scenario, because they hit so well, I think we'll win 1 out of 2. Because
1 out of 3, you mean, or 1 out of 2?
1 out of 3.
Yeah.
Because they do hit the ball well. And Texas don't. So I think that's the difference maker. But if we're gonna win the series, I feel like you have to score. Man, that's real hard to say. I have to say you have to score 8 to 10 runs a game to stay with Tennessee offense.
Yeah, I mean, Friday, I think, with Will Sanders, I think you could see a lower scoring, but yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to swing it, man. You're gonna have to swing
Will
it.
ain't pitching. Will's not pitching Friday.
You don't think so? You don't think so?
Right. Eason already said it. He said it Sunday.
When did he say that? How did I miss that? I mean, I'm not doubting you. I'm just. No, let me ask you this though. What benefit do you think that is? What is the benefit of that? I get it in the doubleheader scenario, but what benefit is that?
Because they give him a short rest.
Okay. See, what do you go? What do you want to? You go Hall Friday?
Yeah, it could be Hall, Sanders, and Becker. It's already set in stone.
I mean, it's it works out beautifully if you can somehow steal Friday.
I thought you knew that.
I didn't see a word, bro, to be honest with you. I mean, I saw speculation, but I didn't see,
I hope I can find it again. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, see. Yeah, as soon as I find it, I'll screenshot it. But that's what it is, for sure. There we go. I got it right here, buddy. I'm about to send it your way. Baseball. All right, here we go. The current plan is to pitch the same rotation against Tennessee upcoming weekend as was used this past weekend. Noah Hall Friday, Will Sanders on Saturday, and Matthew Becker on Sunday.
Well, there you have it. There you go. All right.
So, because he said he wants everybody to feel good and everybody's on to be not on short rest. How they get Will back in that Friday's job, who knows? But
well, I think probably what you do is you move him to Saturday this weekend, and you move him back to Friday the next weekend. Just slowly. He was on Sunday, slide him to Saturday, and then we'll slide him to Friday the next weekend and get it back normal.
Right.
So.
Well, if you can hit the ball Saturday and still the Friday night, I should she'll put it for Saturday.
For sure. We'll see. Skyline, I appreciate the call, my guy. Great stuff. We're going to try to get some other people in here, but I appreciate you as always, my dude.
All right. Be good, my guy. Be safe this weekend.
Yeah, man. We'll talk soon. Great stuff from Skyline. 843-790-3377, guys. It's 843-790-3377. Caden Gibson. Did y'all see the big game boomer tweet from last night? I did, and I just have no clue what it could mean. But either way, we will see. We'd love to hear from you all, though. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Baseball's in the air, guys. It's game day. Gamecocks taking on Gardner-Webb tonight at Founders Park. Of course, we will be out there. We'll be out at Founders Really looking forward to a fun night of baseball. It is a gorgeous day here in Columbia. Should be a nice night as well to watch the Yardcocks. So let's see. High today, I believe, is like 72 or something. So let's see. Yeah, at first pitch, it's going to be 68. So should be nice. Should be a really nice night. Going to get down to about 60. But yeah, should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fun. Let's see. Yeah, Trevi, I did see that where Thornwell said the question, why couldn't we capitalize on the Final Four? He said P.J. Dozier leaving early. P.J. was a big piece. When we left the program early, we couldn't build off that run. Yeah, that certainly hurt you. I mean, listen, the top players want to go play with great players, and when he left, it set you back. It set you back. There's no question. It set you back. Yeah, for all the Braves folks out there, it does suck to lose Freddy Freeman, but at the end of the day, man, you can't make a bad business move just to keep him in Atlanta. So I don't think I don't know. I don't think the Braves made the worst move, to be honest with you. I really don't. And guys, again, you look at this game tonight. And again, it's about approaching the midweek the right way. You know, last week at this time, it was about combating adversity and responding correctly. Well, you need to respond correctly today as well, tonight against Gardner-Webb. But in the sense of handling prosperity, I talked a little bit about that yesterday, but just approaching the midweek the right way. You know who I'm really intrigued to see tonight? The youngster Aiden Hunter getting the start on the bump. And this is a guy that Mark Kingston talked about. You know, they're asking a lot of this young man. And I think he's thrown the baseball pretty well. I think he spun it fairly well for you. But he's still learning, growing, evolving, you know, coming into his own as one of the key arms for South Carolina. And for me, you know, he is my key player for this game tonight just because simply you need to see him continue to come along and gain confidence because they're going to need this kid. They're going to need this kid to pitch big innings. They're going to need him to pitch this weekend against Tennessee. They're going to need him to pitch an SEC play. So him getting the start tonight against Gardner-Webb, I think it's a great opportunity for Aiden to, you know, build up his confidence, you know, continue to sharpen his stuff, continue to come into his own, like I said, and continue to evolve into a big piece for South Carolina. Because like I said, with all the injuries and everything else, Mark Kingston making note of, they're going to need him. And I think he's been good to this point, but seeing his continued evolution, you know, I think he can be a really big piece for this bullpen and for you in the midweek as well. So going to be a lot of fun. Yes, SEC Network Plus, Kruger, SEC Network Plus. Yes. Yep, you got to handle success the correct way, you know. And again, I know you're not playing Texas. Listen, it's easy. It's easy to get pumped up for Texas. It's easy to get pumped up for SEC play, but attacking this the right way, attacking this game the right way, right? Attacking this one the right way. So, guys, we're going to take one final break here on this Tuesday, but I do want to continue to hear from you. 843-790-3377, taking your questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. 843-790-3377. Final 10 minutes or so here in the Daily Crow, guys. Be sure to check out the podcast, by the way, that dropped this morning. Episode 618. 618, full breakdown of the game tonight against Gardner-Webb, and, of course, my full thoughts on Frank Martin and his dismissal as South Carolina head coach. And, again, guys, I will say this because I'm very critical, and I give my opinion, and I speak what's on my mind, obviously. I'm very authentic and genuine, and that's how I've operated since I started this thing back in 2017, and that's how I'll continue to operate. But with that being said, I think it's important Gamecock fans do take a moment to say thank you to Frank Martin. Thank you for all the memories. Thank you for elevating the standard and the expectation at the University of South Carolina. Thank you for doing things that, before he took over as head coach, I think many thought was impossible. The Final Four run obviously stands out as, again, as I've talked many times, not just the favorite memory in regards to Gamecocks basketball. For many fans, their favorite memory ever being a South Carolina fan. And while, maybe it wasn't meant to be after his 10th season, there's no doubt he will always be welcome back in Columbia. And you look back on his tenure with reverence, and it should put a smile on all of our faces, just everything he did for the program. Again, the way that you can judge a coach, I feel, you can talk SEC titles or national championships or guys drafted, but did that coach leave the program off in a better place than which he found it? I think that is not talked about enough. And I think that is something that's not always the case. It's a lot of times it's not the case. And in this case, though, it is. Frank Martin absolutely left this South Carolina basketball program in a much, much better spot than he found it. For that, I say thank you, Frank Martin. Thank you for all the hard work. Thank you for the dedication to USC. Thank you for elevating this program. And thank you for, without Frank Martin, we wouldn't want more. We wouldn't expect more. So, again, thank you, Frank Martin, for everything. Thank you for the memories, and wishing Frank Martin nothing but best of luck. And know he will land on his feet and he'll have success wherever he goes. So, yeah, like I said, I wanted the change. I think it's necessary. But, you can also look back and say thanks to Frank. So, Anyways, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. No statement, Cody, from Frank Martin as of yet, unless I've missed it, which I don't think I have. Frank Martin has said nothing as of yet. I mean, I would imagine certainly he will. He also hasn't even changed his Twitter. But as you can obviously tell, that little Twitter tirade that he went on last week, that was a last-ditch effort for him to save his job. That's what that was. Now I think we know, right? Now we know. That was a last-ditch effort for Frank Martin to convince everyone that, hey, I should be the head coach here. And that's what I will say. That's the only thing that, does anybody feel like his last season felt very Muschampish in the sense where it was like every other press conference was him reminding us of all the progress they had made and what they had done in his tenure. And it's like, why are you telling us this? Like why? We know what you've done here. Either way, though, man, I this is not anything like that Muschamp situation was where, obviously, guys, I was sitting right here smoking a cigar, celebrating a new beginning for Gamecocks football. It's a bummer it didn't work. It's a bummer it didn't work, but at the end of the day, guys, like I said, you're getting paid to do a job. You're a top 25 paid head coach, and there should be expectations. There should be pressure. You should be held accountable for the products you put on the floor. And, just simply put, they didn't win enough games, man. That's it. They didn't win enough games. And you got to a point where, like I said, you were spinning your wheels, and it was just kind of the same thing over and over and over and over again. And so a change was necessary. So and now we move on. So either way, 843-790-3377, guys. That's 843-790-3377. Rebecca Strandage, we will be at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. That is Tennessee's baseball stadium. Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Anyways, guys, I do want to hear from you. Questions, comments, calls. It's a beautiful day in the city, by the way. Feels great outside. Beautiful day in the city. Less than 5 minutes to go here on a Tuesday. Very excited to get back out to Founders, man. Very excited to get to Founders. It's one of my favorite things during baseball season is just waking up on a Tuesday and it's like there's baseball today. It's incredible. Waking up on a Tuesday and there's baseball. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Got to love it. You got to love when Clemson fans just try to inject themselves into Gamecock conversation and Gamecock. Very funny. Very funny. Obviously, guys, again, content bleeding out the eyeballs with spring ball getting going and all the hype and excitement that brings. So. Wow, Florida State postponed, midweek game postponed. Dang, that stinks. Good old Florida weather. Gotta love the Florida weather. Tyrell Campbell Sr., what's going on, friend? Appreciate you tuning in. What's going on, Tyrell Campbell Sr.? Appreciate it. Robbie Davis said that what his prediction was 6-1, I believe. Yeah, 5-1. He's got the Gamecocks beating Gardner-Webb 5-1. I hope it's more than that, Robbie. I hope we score a little bit more than that, my guy. Chase asked, 15 games in the baseball season, which South Carolina team do you see having the best chance for the postseason? It's been nice seeing Coastal struggle. Hopefully Clemson will catch more L's too. Clemson's definitely set themselves up well to get in the postseasons. I think right now you probably have to say Clemson, the way they've started the year. But, I think certainly the postseason's still it's all going to come down to what you do in SEC play. That's what it's going to come down to. Yep, it's all going to come down to what you do in SEC play. Okay, so it sounds like it is going to be Hall, Sanders, Becker this weekend. Hall, Sanders, Becker. So, again, guys, check out the podcast that dropped this morning. If you tuned in on YouTube and you're having trouble finding the podcast, please shoot me a DM and let me know. I would love to help you out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, all that good stuff. But again, in case you're having trouble finding it, I will literally send you the links. And I highly suggest subscribing on one of those platforms, if not multiple, subscribing on those platforms. You'll get daily notifications of when the podcast drops. That's going to be the easiest way. For you to tune in. Anyways, guys, we're coming up on 2 o'clock. Do appreciate you all tuning in. Cody Gaskins, any word on Boz? He started throwing, but I don't think anything, Cody, beyond that I've seen. Guys, we've hit 2. Appreciate you all tuning in, guys. Thank you all so much for the love and support, man. As always, it means the absolute world. Check out the new merch, by the way, the Horns Down merch. We got all our baseball merch, Beamer Ball, Shane Storm. I mean, you guys know at this point the drill, tsus.store. Also, check out the podcast I dropped this morning. And again, guys, podcast, Daily Crow rolling all week. And then Friday, we are rolling to Rocky Top. Going to be a fun weekend. But guys, again, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Go Cox, beat Gardner-Webb, and we'll talk to you